Welcome back to another episode of In the Slot. I'm your host, Jacob Fraser, with my co host, Keenan Tregaskis. And I've got a little bit of a new setup here and a nice little background, a couple of my old jerseys behind me.
Just
But
had to
how are you
flex
doing?
him. Just had to flex him.
Oh, yeah. I couldn't find some of my other jerseys that I wanted up there. So
You don't
I've
have room
got
for any
my
more there.
well, I didn't want to do this one because
Okay.
it's my when I played on the junior Canucks, it's that jersey, but
Yeah.
I feel like people are gonna think it's an actual Vancouver Canucks
No,
jersey
it's
with
an
my
actual
last name.
Vancouver Canucks. Don't listen to him. It's an actual Vancouver Canucks jersey.
Yeah, okay. But
The
how's
retired 24-year-old.
I, I mean, they can always call me up.
They might have
They
to.
need some goal scoring, so.
They need anyone.
But how's it going before we get into everything?
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, an eventful week it feels like. So we'll get into things pretty quickly here. We've got some weekly updates. Then obviously we have to talk about the disaster that is the International Olympic Committee.
The
Just with
Olympics.
just with the IIHF and the issues going on with the rink in Milan. We will touch on that a little bit, and then we'll get into our team of the week. And then we'll wrap up with a quick little standings check-in. So let's kick things off here with the weekly updates. Tyler Seguin, he's going to be out long term for the Dallas Stars with an ACL injury. I mean, the Stars have been unbelievable to start this season. They're one of our contenders that we've talked about, a team that can actually match up with out of any team in the league can match up with the Colorado Avalanche. And Tyler Seguin's a pretty big part of that, especially because they have so much forward depth. So that is a fairly big loss for the Dallas Stars.
Yeah, it really sucks the way his career's gone the past couple of years. A lot of injuries, like for what was he was an amazing player. Lots of 30 goal seasons, touched 40. And just since the turn of the century, he's played one full season of 81 games. He's at 20 last year, 3 in the COVID season, and well, maybe 27 this year. That might be
Mm-hmm.
where it ends because he could miss the rest of the season with the ACL injury, especially if they are confirmed in a playoff spot and they think he's going to be back. They might just rest him so he is back for round one. I think that's the most hopeful and optimistic I can be about this because you never know with ACL injuries, and you never know with ACL injuries for players in their mid 30s too. Like that's even harder to come back from.
Yeah, I don't think we have any sort of timeline. The last I saw it was just that he's going to be out long term. So
Yeah, it,
you
it says on the NHL website that he could miss the rest of the regular season.
right.
So yes, like it's long term.
I would agree with you though. Like maybe the best play is throw him on LTIR. You can bring in a guy to help you closer to the deadline or even right now, and then just rest him until playoffs. Like I know fans don't really like when teams do that when they use that LTIR space to bring in a player and then miraculously this guy's back for game one of the playoffs. But you're right with Tyler Seguin's injury history, like it just makes the most sense to do that for the Dallas Stars, I would think.
Yeah, and I would too. And I'm not even a fan of the team. I'm just saying it how it is.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We'll shift over here to some Vancouver Canucks talk. We talked about Connor Garland last week, possibly being a guy that could get moved, but there have been a lot of trade talks swirling around Quinn Hughes recently, and obviously a move isn't imminent, and the Canucks don't seem to be in any sort of rush to make a trade involving their captain. But I mean, how like if you had to throw a guess out there, how soon do you think a deal could be made for Quinn Hughes?
For Quinn Hughes, ooh,
Like, what's the quickest timeline you could see? I
they're gonna
guess.
milk this because they're gonna just drive the price up as much as they can. This isn't a
Hmm.
player you take the first year. Oh, you want him? Okay, he's gone.
Hmm.
There's gonna be long negotiations if these rumors are true. there's going to be a lot of teams that would want him, and there's going to be a lot going back towards Vancouver. There's going to be Rutherford is going to be talking to a lot of general managers at the same time, assuming any trade is going to happen, and it's just going to be right down to the deadline if he does get traded, just because of how big the return is going to be for someone who's still under contract for next year, and for someone of his caliber as is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, let's talk about some of the teams that have been rumored. Like there's the Philadelphia Flyers, obviously that Rick Tocchet connection. Of course, the New Jersey Devils with his brothers there. But another team that's come up recently that Elliot Friedman has talked about is the Detroit Red Wings, and they're a team that has a pretty deep prospect pool.
They
Um,
also have a hole at defense that includes all six of their starters because they all suck.
hey, Mo Sider's good.
Yeah, I know that was just a joke.
Okay.
You
I
got
mean,
pretty defensive there, though.
well, I was just gonna say before you had said that, like I feel like Mo Sider and Quinn Hughes would be an electric
Oh, that
pairing
would be
in the NHL.
100%.
Like I that would I, could that be the best pairing in the league over Makar and Devin Taves?
That'd be
I
close. I'd like to
think it
see
would
them
be
on the
close.
ice together first
Yeah,
with his chemistry.
of course. But yeah, I mean, obviously he's got the played at the University of Michigan, has the Michigan background a little bit. Um, Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Detroit could be a really good landing spot for him and somewhere that he would be more willing to sign an extension with.
Yeah. Yeah, I do wonder what's in the thoughts of these general managers of whether or not they can sign Quinn Hughes long term, because that's going to play into any sort of trade that the opposing team is going to make. Because if you're going to give up all that for a elite player, doesn't matter if it's Quinn Hughes or anyone, you want to extend them long term. You don't want that to be a rental,
Mm-hmm.
like, or you're going to flip them yourself, like the Mikko Rantanen situation last year, who plays for
Right.
Dallas now.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that. um, yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, if I'm a GM and I'm building a team that is truly a contender, I look at Quinn Hughes and I'm okay massively overpaying for a rental
Yes.
because he's a guy that's going to
Okay.
bring you to that next level. But a team like Detroit or even a team like Philly as well, I don't see them being legit contenders. Like obviously things get a lot better if they add Quinn Hughes, but I just don't see the rest of their roster being quite at that caliber yet.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you don't want to pay two premium prospects and a bunch of picks for a guy who's only going to be in your organization for a year and a half, right?
Yeah, no, that's true. These two teams aren't one player away from being elite and within Stanley Cup contention. They're still, you hope they're at the end of their rebuild, that long rebuild in Detroit, and we know Philadelphia's in the middle of a rebuild right now too. A piece like this is something that they want long term, because you don't want to give up a lot for a rental, because oh, we might win around in the playoffs this year, or we might make a run if we get this trade. And that's a big if still, because who knows where the end of the season is. Philly and Detroit, they're okay right now, but everyone's okay right now in the East.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, that we've talked about that too. Like
Yeah.
it's a conference that's been pretty stagnant all season long. Like I mean, dead last, I just pulled up the conferences here. Dead last 25 points, top of the conference is 36. There's an 11-point difference between 1 and 16 in the Eastern Conference.
Yeah, and there's a 4 point difference from the top to the Islanders, who are right outside the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy. It doesn't matter. Like we're over a quarter of the way through the season.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
it has
insane.
been crazy the lack of separation here.
The Panthers are at the bottom too. That's insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I wanted to, I guess, like we talk about, you don't want to overpay for rental and everything. And if Quinn Hughes doesn't end up wanting to extend, you don't necessarily want to overpay for him unless he's really bringing you to that Stanley Cup contention. But does that just mean that it's probably going to be the Devils if he does get moved?
Jim Rutherford says that every other week. It's like, he's gonna
Yeah.
be a devil. Don't worry about it. um, yeah, I could see the Devils being the front, but at the same, I'm gonna contradict myself immediately. The other thing here is assuming Quinn's going to the Devils, that's 100% set in stone. Why would the Devils make this trade right now when they can keep all these players, any good prospects they have or like, and then just sign Quinn Hughes, who would probably take a discount to play with his two brothers in a year and a half, anyways?
Yeah, I mean, you do get the 2 extra years if you trade for him now and are able to extend him on July 1st because of he would still be eligible for that 8 year extension, whereas come September next year, you can only sign 7 year
True.
deal, and then in free agency it's a 6 year. So you would get him locked down for 2 extra years if you're the New Jersey Devils and decide to trade for him
Yeah. Thanks, Batman.
ahead of September. What?
Thanks, Batman.
Yeah. What do you think of that? Like, what do
I
you
don't
think of
like it.
the shorter term?
I'm a
It's kind of
baseball
like
guy.
the NBA.
I'm a baseball guy. You can give someone whatever they want for however long they want. That's what I'm used to, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude,
I,
Otani's getting paid 700 million, and he's not going to see 98% of it until he's retired.
I
That's a
mean,
baseball contract, man.
there's been some bad contracts in the NHL because of how it used to work like that in the league, like Rick DiPietro,
That's true.
Ilya
But
Kovalchuk.
those are kind of the risks you take, though.
I guess
I
so,
like
but
I liked the way it was with just the 8 years. Like, why are we
mhm.
shrinking it? Like, why are we restricting what you can do even further? You already have a low salary cap. Like,
Yeah, I think it's just because the league is like in the NBA, you see it's 4 year deals or 5 year deals, I think is the maximum. I think it's five. Um, but so the max you can sign is a 5 year extension with your team, and then you go play somewhere else. Like there's a lot more moving around. Whereas in the NHL, like look at the free agency class from this past off season. There was
mhm.
not really a real headliner outside of Mitch Marner, who ended up getting traded before free agency started and signed a technical extension with the Vegas Golden
Yeah.
Knights. Like,
Some of that is also because of the rising cap, too, though.
oh, 100%
Like,
it
one or
is. Yeah.
two of the Panthers guys would have hit free agency if there wasn't an extra 5 mil, right?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But like one or two of the Panthers guys, like that doesn't really do much
No,
for
that's
me.
also true. But I think to make that argument, we'll have to wait another year
Mhm.
because the rising cap obviously changes that at the same time. We'll see it like it's staying stagnant. We'll see if the free agency market is better or if it's the same coming out of this year. And then I think we can like truly make that argument.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's fair. Let's get into the Olympic arena here. So, I mean, what is there really to say? It's not done being built, which is nuts. It's apparently going to be too small, smaller than an NHL size arena. Like I just read earlier today. Apparently, the 1B Division 1B World Junior Tournament was scheduled to start there at that arena on December 8th as like a test for the Olympics, but it's now been relocated because of the construction of the arena. And I mean, we've seen the NHL Deputy Commissioner Bill Daly. He said, if there's no rink, there's no players.
Yeah.
So, like, are you at all concerned one that players won't go? I think if as long as they finish the rink, even if it's not necessarily up to the caliber that was initially expected, I think the players will be going. But are you concerned at all that it won't be finished being built?
Yeah, I'm definitely a little concerned. I don't remember ever having this conversation for any sport. Like, oh, we're not going to have this stadium done in time. Like, what is going on? The fact that you're saying that is immediate concern.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come out and say, well, we're not even going to have the ice at NHL regulation. Are we all right? You're hosting the Olympics. You're not hosting some minor hockey tournament here. This is the largest event in the sporting world, maybe shy to just the World Cup. But like this is insane.
Well, and not only that, like it's such a big event this year because we've been waiting 12 years
Yeah,
for
2014.
NHL players back at the Olympics.
Yeah, and we got our we got our sample last year.
Yeah.
Now we want the full meal. Like,
Yeah.
come on, give it to us. We're ready. We're waiting.
Yeah,
This was the whole thing.
the other thing, like I don't understand how you can screw up to not have built the size of an NHL arena because Olympic standard is larger,
Yeah.
like pretty substantially larger than an NHL rink. So how is it smaller than an NHL rink? Who's building this thing?
Also, does this affect like speed skating and figure skating too?
I don't think so. I
Okay.
think they're at a they because in Vancouver we had the Oval and then Rogers
We
Arena
also
was
already
the
had regular rinks, though. To be
well
fair.
they had to build the Richmond Oval
Yeah, I know,
for
but
the
we had
Olympics.
Rogers.
Oh well,
Like we
yeah,
weren't just building it. Oh shoot, Olympics, we got to build everything.
yeah, but they had to do renovations to Rogers.
That's true.
I
We still had
understand
an
like
arena
yeah, I get
in
that, but
place.
I think we already know who's hosting 2032 Olympics. You have like 10 years to plan
Yeah,
at
like
least.
also known NHL players are gonna do it for a couple of years. Like this wasn't like beginning of the season. Gary Bettman's like, yeah, we'll let the NHL guys go, and they're like, oh shoot, we got to prepare. Like
Yeah.
we thought it was just gonna be scrubs from like regular like the minors. No,
Yeah.
you've known for a long time. This is on you, Italy.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you like how big of a disappointment is it if the NHL players don't end up going?
It's a huge disappointment because
Like do
we
you
saw.
tune into any games?
I don't think I tuned in 2018 when it was just the random guys. So I'm gonna go with no. Like like I said, we got our little sample of this last year, and it was electric when it was just four teams playing a total of like you played three games if you made the finals. Now it's the Olympics. It's a bigger you got a bigger reach. This is the whole world watching. You got Czechia's going, the other smaller hockey nations are going. This was supposed to be huge. The NHL built their schedule around this happening, and you're screwing up somehow.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous and I agree. Like I've been looking forward to oh, there goes one of my
Yep, starting to slide. It's your
it
fake
might
Canucks
fall.
jersey.
It might fall. It fell before we started recording. So, like I said, it's a before we started recording. It's just a temporary setup, so it it's not put in pretty strongly. We just got like double sided tape on there. So,
I can see.
um, but yeah, I mean, I would be incredibly disappointed. You're right. Like we got a taste of it with Four Nations, and it was so much fun. Like just the Canada USA. Obviously, the fights were one thing, but just the game itself was unbelievable to watch. Best on best hockey for the first time in so long. And if we don't get that this year at the Olympics, like I, we're not
We
going to get
riot.
it
Let's do it
until
again, like 2011.
yeah, fly out to Milan just to riot. Um, but yeah, is there anything else you wanted to get to before we get into our team of the week?
What do you think happens? Like, what does the NHL do if they pull their players out? Do they adjust the schedule?
No, I don't think they do because a lot of teams like in Vancouver they rent out Rogers Arena for concerts and stuff like that, right? So it might be a little bit difficult
True.
to adjust the schedule. I mean, I feel like the players, given the condensed schedule and everything, they might appreciate a couple weeks off,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like like a bye week in the NFL kind of thing. You get to go on a little vacation and just relax, and they don't have to deal with an all-star game, or maybe they even bring in a little makeshift all-star weekend or
Hmm.
something. I don't know, but Yeah, I would say if you sorry, if you can't send the players, then you just give them a couple weeks off.
Yeah, that's fair.
Maybe they can fly to Milan and watch
And
their
protest.
buddies in the minors go play. Do you want to get into our team of the week?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, sweet. I'll kick things off with mine. I've got the Washington Capitals. They've been on a tear recently. Since we last recorded, they've got four straight wins. I think they're on a 6-game winning streak total.
Yeah.
Um, and I mean, last night pumped the San Jose Sharks 7-1. Took down the LA Kings 3-1. Capital or Islanders 4-1. Leafs 4-2. Like they're not allowing many goals and they're scoring a lot. So they're on a really good streak right now. They've taken first in the Metropolitan Division and the Eastern Conference. 9-1 in their last 10. It's just been a great stretch for the Washington Capitals, and I think given what they were able to accomplish last year, I think that kind of came out of nowhere, and you wondered at the start of the season if they're going to be able to keep keep that going, right?
Mhm.
But maybe it's not to the same extent this year, but definitely a great start for them.
This is how you build off a good season, Vancouver.
Yeah. Well, they also did the retool in 1 year. Oh, there goes the jersey, man.
Yeah, it's going. It's gonna be gone.
I'm just ripping it down.
I go for it. All right. Over in the West, there really hasn't been a team that's kind of stood out this week. You can look at the last 10 and go, oh, there's a couple. But no one's on a huge streak that Washington has been. So I didn't go Colorado. They were the easy choice. Also, they lost in regulation. That's what bums do. I went with Minnesota. They are
Okay.
8-0-2 in their last 10. They actually beat Colorado within the last week, 3-2 in shootout. Beat the Oilers 1-0 yesterday, yesterday or 2 days ago, whatever. It was another Wallstedt shutout. He's got 3 shutouts within the last 2 weeks. The team has stormed into third place in the Central Division, albeit because Winnipeg has struggled. They're winning games and they're winning them consistently. They were on a 7-game win streak before they lost to Buffalo and then beat Edmonton. Yeah, they're doing what they need to do. They've got an amazing goaltending, and then Kaprizov is Kaprizov.
You know what's funny? I think before that Buffalo game, I think we might have made a joke because we had been talking about the Minnesota Wild.
Yeah.
I think we made a joke about their winning streak and how they were playing Buffalo that night and were going to lose.
Wasn't that Colorado?
Maybe it was Colorado.
I think
I don't know.
we were saying, oh, Colorado's going to lose to a crappy team, and then they lost to the Islanders in regulation.
Oh, it might have been both. Maybe we're just bad luck for these good teams.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jesper Wallstedt has just been unbelievable, and we've talked about him a little bit here. But I think I came into the season going Philip Gustafsson. He had a great year last year. He's a legit number one, and now they have Jesper Wallstedt playing the way he's playing. I mean, their goaltending is set for the future. I don't know what Wallstedt's contract is. I'm trying to pull that up right now.
Is he still in his ELC?
He very well could be. But okay, no, he's not on his ELC. Year 1 of a 2-year deal, 4.4 million.
Okay.
2.2. Okay, so 2.2. Yeah, 2.2 a year. So
I was gonna say 4.4 would have been a lot for his minimal NHL experience.
Yeah, definitely. But
yeah, and they've got Gustafsson locked up until 2031.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're set for a couple of years at least, you assume that you're gonna extend Wallstedt at the end of that deal. But yeah, their goaltending situation looks great.
The real question is, can they finally win a playoff round?
Well, and the problem there is they don't really have great forwards. Like their forward group is not
outside
great.
Of Kaprizov.
Yeah,
it's weak.
Well, and Matt Boldy.
Yeah, and that's their number two.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, after Kaprizov and Matt Boldy, you don't really have a legit number one center. You've got Joel Eriksson Ek and Marco Rossi, who's been out with a broken foot. Um, and then, like, I think right now they're playing Danila Yurov, who's a rookie, as their 1C. Like, they need to find a center in.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Ryan Hartman's listed as their 1C on Daily Faceoff.
That's worse than Yurov.
Yeah, they don't. This might not be updated though because Yurov's not on here.
Oh, he's day to day.
Okay, so it's Hartman for now at least.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean Matt Zuccarello is a pretty good player. You got Tarasenko, but yeah, that center depth is
Just
pretty
their offensive
pretty
depth
ugly.
in general. Look at the second line is Marcus Johansson, Joel Eriksson Ek, and Matt Boldy.
Yeah, I think it's okay, but yeah, it's nothing like it's not. You don't look at that team and go, "Oh crap, they're a
There's
cup
a reason
contender."
why they struggled when Kaprizov went out last year. Like, there's a reason their season fell apart.
Yeah, 100%.
It also shows how good Kaprizov is and why he's getting 17 mil.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what their team's going to look like when that contract kicks in. Obviously, the cap is going up so much, but I am curious. Like you're paying two goalies, what, almost $9 million total
for now too.
Yeah, and then you've got 17 million dedicated to Kirill Kaprizov. Like that's gonna be expensive.
Yeah, and that's 1 year as the goalie's at 9 mil before Wallstedt's a restricted free agency again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see, but yeah, they've definitely been a great team in their recent games, and good to see them move into a playoff spot. Okay, let's talk about the standings a little bit. Let's finish things off here with our standings check-in. Who I'll start off, like, good or bad. Who's surprised you so far this season?
Good. The Ducks. I thought they would be in that wild card mix. They're still atop the Pacific Division by 1 point over Vegas and their 8 overtime losses. But this is a team that's 9-4 at home. They score a lot of goals. They still allow a lot of goals. The defensive structure is very poor. The penalty kill is very aggressive. But they score a lot of goals. They're very fast. Cutter Gauthier has broken out and looks like an elite scorer. I think we've talked about him a couple of times on the show already. Leo Carlson has been amazing. This is the breakout team of the year right now. I don't think anyone's close to them. Montreal was at there for a moment, but I'd give the edge to Anaheim regardless because the Canadiens made the playoffs last year anyways.
Yeah. I would think Anaheim. Like you said you thought they could be in the wild card mix. I honestly did not have them in the wild card mix this year. I thought they were another year or two away from that. And so the fact that they're at the top of the Pacific Division is just great to see. Like they're a fun team to watch. Like you're right, their defensive structure isn't great, but it does make for a really good hockey game. Like we're seeing a lot of goals, a lot of offense back and forth.
As a non-Ducks fan, it makes for a really good hockey game.
Yeah, it does.
If you're a Ducks fan, you're stressing.
Definitely. But yeah, I think the Ducks have been my biggest surprise in a good way. In a bad way, I honestly, like, it's the Leafs for me.
Okay.
Yeah. I really thought that the Toronto Maple Leafs would they're in a playoff hunt every year, like, and Leaf fans think that they're a contender and this year's our year, but like I get that they lost Mitch Marner, but you know, you still have Willie Nylander, you still have Austin Matthews. John Tavares is having a great season this year, and they're well outside of a playoff spot as far as teams in the East go. Like no one's really well out of a playoff spot, but Toronto Maple Leafs have a lot of teams ahead of them in the standings. And so I'm really surprised by that.
Yeah, that's fair. There's no identity there. It doesn't really look like there's any leadership or proper culture. I thought Berube was going to like really lock these guys down like he did in St. Louis and really just drive home the extra energy and level that they needed to make that next step, and he kind of looks like he's lost the team. I think he's gone before the season's over, regardless of not regardless because they're not going to improve that much under him. I think he's gone probably around the Olympic break, to be honest.
Really?
That
Yeah.
seems like if they want to, if you think this team is still playoff ready, is still the core the way it is, can make the playoffs and contend in the playoffs, I think Berube needs to go. I think you need to shake it up in that way. Like you got the core players are locked into long-term deals. You're not moving any of those guys. Even Matthews' short-term deal, you're not moving him. It's the coach that's going to go, and that could be what needs to happen because there's still a lot of talent in Toronto.
They're a team though that has cycled through so many coaches. Like, at what point do you go like, okay, it's not the coach's fault. Like, this team just can't figure it out.
I don't think it's yet. Like you can't say that right now, just because, like I said, there's too many long-term contracts for you to
Right.
retool the team in that way.
Right.
That I think they're gonna have to make that same move and have it being firing another coach. And usually it's enough of a jolt to get the team going for the short term.
Mhm.
Is it the right long-term answer? Probably not. If you can't build a culture under a Stanley Cup winning coach, who can you build a culture under?
Yeah.
Like, let's go. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like there's been like no culture there for a few years. It's just been kind of a mixed bag from everyone in that organization. Who are some of your contenders so far? We've talked about this a little bit. Obviously, Colorado Avalanche are at
yeah,
the
we don't need
top.
to talk about them ever. They're the contender right now.
Yeah, but who are some maybe sleeper contenders for you right now?
Sleeper contenders. Ooh. I honestly, I don't. Is anyone a contender right now?
Yeah, that's the thing. Like,
Like,
it doesn't feel like it. Hey.
it's Colorado and Dallas. Like that I can look at and go, they're legit good teams who've played good from game one to now.
Hmm.
Yeah, Washington's in front of the Metropolitan, but like you said, that's because they're on a huge tear. I think it was 2 weeks ago they were on the outside. Everyone's going to be on the outside at some point this year with how close the playoff races are.
Yeah.
I don't know who I can legitimately look at and go, yeah, they're contending properly right now. They're looking like a Stanley Cup winning team or contending team other than Colorado and Dallas. Tampa Bay, but at the same time, everyone else is struggling in the East. That might help them out a little bit.
Hmm.
That's the only other team I can think of.
I'll give you a name. I look at the Pittsburgh Penguins and I
Okay.
go, maybe they can do something. Because, I mean, I don't know if I have the trust in Tristan Jari or Artur Shilovs to go on a deep playoff run necessarily, but they haven't allowed many goals this season. Like, they're doing well in that department. Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, they're both playing like not the best they've ever played, but they're playing at a very high caliber this season. And at their age, it's just been incredible to see. But maybe the two of them and Chris Letang and Eric Carlson, maybe that group of vets, they look at this as their last real chance. And I could see them really digging deep. And obviously, Letang, Crosby, and Malkin have all done it before. And I could see them digging deep and going on a run, especially with how wide open the Eastern Conference seems to be.
Okay. I just my thing is I don't see how they can do this over 82 games, especially after the last two seasons where they've tailed out. Like as the season's gone on, the performance has just slowly gone down.
Hmm.
That's my concern for them and why I won't label them as a contender. Also, because they've missed the playoffs the last 2 years, it's difficult to be labeled as a contender when you haven't contended
Yeah.
recently. But I see where you're coming from. I'd like to see one last ride out of Malkin and Crosby. That would be fun.
Yeah, I mean, I say it. I would love to see it. That's why
Yeah,
I'm saying
as a
it.
fan,
Like,
I'd love to see it. I will say
yeah,
one more thing though. I ripped on the Leafs a lot, but I didn't really give my failures. It's
mm,
kind of all the Canadian teams right now.
yeah. Outside of Montreal,
Outside of Montreal, and there's still questions there because of all the injuries. But even Calgary and Vancouver, who were teams that you could say, oh, they're going to be at the bottom. I don't think anyone expected Vancouver to be this bad, and Dustin Wolf's looked awful for Calgary at times. Like
Mm-hmm.
even the pieces that were supposed to be there haven't been for Calgary. Vancouver is just they're doing a nosedive right now. Like they're
They are.
forcing themselves to tank. We're not going to rebuild. Like, yeah, the players are going to make you rebuild.
Yeah. You're rebuilding whether you'd like to or
Yeah,
not.
we don't like losing. We're going to lose more so we get good players.
Oh, I need to find it. I saw something. It was either today or yesterday, um, talking about the Vancouver Canucks and how if they make a trade involving like Kiefer Sherwood or something, they don't want picks necessarily. They want pieces that can help them stay competitive, I think was what was said.
They're not
Stay competitive.
competitive.
Exactly.
How high? How much do you think you're getting for Kiefer Sherwood?
Well, and what I just don't understand we want to stay competitive. You're in 30th place in the NHL.
They've had one legit competitive regular season the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, and that was 2 years ago, which is obviously a fluke run. Like, what
Yeah,
what,
it's
what are we
ridiculous.
what are we talking about by competitive? Like, come on.
Oh,
What?
and sorry, I said they're 30th in the NHL. They're 31st now.
Oh God. Oh, ahead of Calgary. Jesus.
Yeah, 1 point ahead of the Calgary Flames.
What a dude. I remember when these teams used to have mid-offs. This isn't a
Yeah.
mid-off anymore. We're not
No.
fighting for 16th overall. We're not fighting for that second wild card spot. We're fighting for that first overall pick.
Yeah, it's a fight over Gavin McKenna right now.
Don't worry, Vancouver will mess it up somehow.
Oh, neither of them are winning the lottery.
No, not a chance. You think you think they're gonna let a market in Canada win the lottery?
Canucks have never won the lottery. I think the highest draft pick in Flames history is Sam Bennett.
Yeah, and didn't really work out well for them.
No. Um, that kind of brings me to my next question for you, and this is what we can finish up with. But who do you think should be sellers? Obviously, the Canucks and Nashville and
The
the
Flames.
Calgary Flames, they all headline that. But who are
Yeah.
some other teams that you think should start selling now?
Well, we can just like lock the Buffalo Sabres into that yearly.
Yeah,
And St. Louis
yeah.
as legit teams that should sell. Cairo's name has been circling trade rumors for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
that would be an interesting trade because I think he's still got like 6 or 7 years left on his deal.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah,
I I don't understand what has gone on with the St. Louis Blues and Jordan Kyrou. He's a very good hockey player, and they just seem like he's getting scratched every now and then. Like every season, he gets scratched for a few games. It seems like
locker
it's
room
kind of a
problems
weird,
maybe.
yeah. But yeah, he's in year 3 of an 8-year deal right now. eight
Okay,
point $125 million
yeah, that's not
contract.
bad with the rising cap too.
Yeah,
27 years
100%.
old.
Maybe
Yeah,
you can
4
get
straight years of at least 65 points. 3 straight years
maybe
of at least 30 goals. I'd take him.
yeah. I was gonna say maybe you can get Kyrou for Kiefer Sherwood.
One for
Seems
one.
fair, 1-for-1.
That's how you stay competitive.
Oh man, I who do you think would be a good buyer for Kyrou? I feel like the number one team. We talked about Minnesota not having a lot of center depth. That would be a great spot for him.
That would also help their long-term plan for center too. That's not a rental.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. I like that, Paul. There
Yeah,
you go.
I'm curious. Can they afford it though? Minnesota Wild.
Tell Kaprizov can just hand him some money under the table.
Right now they have 4.4 million in cap space. Going into next season, they'll have more cap space. So maybe
Off-season trade.
I mean, you could throw Ryan Hartman into the deal, and that is enough
Right.
cap space right there.
Damn, they're paying Ryan Hartman $4 million.
Yeah.
There you go. 15 team no trade clause though. You gotta hope St. Louis isn't on that list.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like that. That'd be a good trade there.
Even Yakov Trenin, I think, would be enough. How are you paying Yakov Trenin $3.5 million, man? But I
That's gonna
think that
go.
would be enough to get the cap space you need for Cairo.
Yeah, yeah. In the East, it's hard to tell who should sell right now, other than Buffalo, just because of how close it is, and the assumption that Florida turns it on when they get a little healthier.
Yeah, yeah, I would agree. I don't see Florida sticking at the bottom of the standings. They obviously have a big hole to dig themselves out of, but I if any team can do it, they 100% can.
I will say this: it's a rough stretch. Losses four straight, and they've been to the Flyers, Flames, Leafs, and Predators.
Really,
That's their
I
last four
actually didn't
games.
see that. Yeah, that's that's pretty bad.
That's rough for three. You go back to back to back Stanley Cup appearances. It's weighing on them. It's
Oh, for
hitting.
sure. Yeah, definitely. Is there anything else you wanted to get to in the standings?
I don't think so. I'll just point this out. The
Mhm.
Avalanche still have not lost a regulation game at home.
Oh, were they playing in New York tonight?
Yes, that was a road
Okay.
loss. Yeah, still two overtime losses at home, but no regulation losses at home, which is impressive.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I don't know what more. Like we talk about them every episode. They're the best team in the league, and it's not even close.
No, well somehow it is. They got 3 points on Dallas.
Dallas has the extra game played, but you're right. Like it is somehow fairly close. But look at that goal differential
Yeah,
compared to
that's
Dallas.
insane. That
Plus
is insane.
47.
62 goals allowed.
Yeah. Yeah. The next closest is the Kraken with 66, and they've played three less
The
games.
Kraken have only scored 59 goals. What
That's
the
insane.
hell? What are they doing?
But yeah, I mean, it's an incredible run for the Colorado Avalanche right now.
Yeah, only team who've scored 100 goals and they've allowed the least amount of goals.
Yeah.
That's got the making for success, if you ask me.
Yeah, I think they're pretty good.
You think, yeah. I think this Colorado Avalanche team might make the playoffs this year.
Have you heard of this guy, Nathan McKinnon? I think he's a all-right hockey player.
Like, I think they should give him an extension. That guy deserves a good amount of money. Like, I don't know. Wouldn't you like to know what he's actually making?
Yeah. All right. Well, if you don't have anything else, we can wrap up there.
Yeah, no, I'm good to wrap it up there.
All right, sounds good. Yeah, thank you for listening to In the Slot. I'm your host, Jacob Fraser, with my co-host Keenan Tregaskis, and be sure to join us every week and make sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Check out some of our other shows, and we'll see you later.